Okay, speaking of Andy Glenn, here we are with Andy, and this is the Will Little Experience. It kind of comes with Andy. You guys are sort of joined at the hip. You've known each other forever. Both of you are men of faith, and in this group, when God changed my life, and I think you've witnessed it. He changed it in the midst of me being in the position I'm in. That I try to focus more on what's behind the scenes of umpiring. I do care about their lives. And just the story we just illustrated with Will, it takes faith in life to get through it. And umpiring takes a great deal of faith, the things you have to go through. But you two guys have assisted in training my guys for years now. And I'd like to just ask you, tell me why the relationship works so well. And why is it that you like to give back? You're both wearing Piedmont Metrolina Collegiate logos. Now this is a HisSpace segment, but I'll change into that here before we start this clinic in a few minutes. Why do you give back to umpire? And specifically, guys, this group.
I'll let you go first. Well, we've grown together in umpiring and training. We've learned to trust each other and believe each other in what we do. I've said to a lot of your groups over the years, I've said, in 5 years, you'll become a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That will be the person you become. And every time I say that, I can honestly say I think about Will Little because the impact he's made on my life. He attempts to make me a better person. I can remember when we first started doing clinics, I'd see guys and I'd have all the negatives of what they do wrong. And he'd be the one to always stop me and go, oh, hold on, and explain the good parts and the things they do right. And the more we're around each other, the more we realize the similarities we have. He was raised from parents and grandparents who were very godly. My dad was a minister. My dad was a missionary. We lived all over the world. So we had backgrounds that were very similar. I think our passion for umpiring itself was very, very similar. Our passion for getting it right, learning to get it right, and our passion for teaching others. Sometimes when we came up, you and I cut up about it, we didn't have any of this.
Yeah.
And so to try to give people the opportunity not to make the same mistakes we made was something I became very passionate about. And Will just, for me, helped bring that along because he felt the same way and it was somebody I could share that passion with.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was once I got into umpiring and went through professional umpire school and got my job, I immediately always had a desire to share my experience with my fellow umpires, but then umpires in behind me. And so when I went back to training at professional umpire school at Jim Evans umpire school then, that passion just grew and grew. And my desire to teaching and training and being very specific to detail, very, very attentive to what is said, how it's said, and not misspeaking, is very technical. And there's not many people out there that are, in my vision, like that. But I quickly, as me and Andy got closer, I quickly realized that he had also went to the same umpire school for various different reasons years before me. But our attention to detail and having the mind that wants to be very specific to make sure it's right and not wrong, not misspoken again. We shared that same level of precision.
Yeah.
And so as I started teaching clinics and putting on some clinics here and there in this region area and beyond down towards Knoxville, I started, I say dragging Andy along, but I had to have some help, and guidance there. And we just clicked.
Yeah.
And so as we grew into camps and grew in our relationship, I had very much trust that I could let him talk about certain things, whether it be in the rule book or on-field things, and he wasn't going to say it different than me to where it be heard differently.
Yeah.
And we just
Very
clicked.
important. I don't know if you guys are aware that most of the guys that want to come and experience this, they come for various reasons. One being the level of teaching that they get when Will's in conjunction with Andy. Most of these guys have been to several various camps already. This is different. Are you aware of what's different? Do you have an idea of why so many of these guys gravitate? This is a middle of November camp that every year is well talked about because it's the Will Little Experience. And what you two, and I tell this joke, the Will Little Experience, you get Andy with Will, but I always tell this joke to myself that if Katie wanted to hit Andy in the head with a brick, she just aim it at your behind and she'd get close, okay? So that's me. So, but are you guys aware of what you turned this into?
I don't know. I mean, I tell you, I kind of look at it a little differently. I mean, I look at it as it's, you know, you say the Will Little Experience, and I get that. I'm aware that I'm umpire and I'm affiliated with Major League Baseball, and we're a small family of our own in a lot of ways, and I understand that has a meaning to some people. To me, again, though, it's just what I do. If that platform allows me to grow and have relationships with guys at these camps that I'm a part of, and gives me a chance to show a little different side of me, not just as some umpire, that's what I kind of aim to do. I mean, I have a lot of training, but I want to be very dedicated to it. One thing that, like Andy always, reminds me of this or reminds others of this. Like, I don't wear MLB logo stuff, and I'm very specific for that because I don't want to be affiliated as some separate entity. Like, this is our entity. We're one. We're a unit here. I try to make the experience, I don't know, just more of a relationship.
Thank you.
Not just a business.
Thank you for backing into that trick question, and you nailed it. They come because you care, and you're here with them every minute, and it's not just on the field. We have a social that's just off the chain, where guys share, and we share spiritually, and we share wholeheartedly, and they get to know the man. They get to know the people behind whatever job you're, whatever level you're at, and they know that you care, and that's what they gravitate toward, and that's what I want to thank you for. Andy, do you have you have an idea?
Well, obviously I enjoy this one because we get to spend some time together and do some things, but just like scripturally it talks about iron sharpening iron. Anytime you're in the room with other guys who teach and are passionate about it, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to say something wrong. So it causes you to grow and get stronger in what you know in your rules knowledge, what you know in mechanics knowledge, because you've got somebody else in the room that it's just as passionate about it. And with that in relationships, as in, we went mutts this year and didn't talk baseball because of the things you were going through. And it was a time to realize that the relationship started because of umpiring. It didn't grow because of umpiring. It grew because all the passions that we shared and all the things that we were passionate about beyond the baseball field as well, and the type of person, he is. I can honestly say, and I'm not trying to just sing his praises, Will makes me a better person. And I think that's why guys enjoy this experience, because when they get the chance to talk to him and be around him, they realize he is just a human.
Yeah.
He's just an umpire, but he's just a really good guy who does things the right way. Yeah. I enjoy being around people like that. I think that's why you and I's relationship has grown the last few years. We've seen sides of each other that maybe we didn't show as much before, maybe weren't even there as much before. As we've grown up, we've become people that realize, hey, it's more important to care about somebody else than just about what it brings to myself.
Well, as you came to our crew chief session with Chris Daniels, and then we share this session with Will, and you can begin to see the people that I'm surrounding myself with as I try to lead these men to everything that they can be in umpire. And I want to take this moment to thank both of you for being a part of my life, being a part of my group, and offering your time and your services for what you do for these men, not only to make them better umpires, but you're making them better husbands, better brothers, better fathers, better citizens. And in the end, when we do that together, we make better umpires. I want to thank you both. Appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you, Dick. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, my
Thank
man.
you. I want
Appreciate
to
you.
thank you as well, because there's only one reason why since 2017, I only teach kind of down to one clinic a year now, as you know.
And I thank God for
There's
it.
a
every
reason
day.
why it's this way.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you.
Thank you, brothers.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bring the funk.